The NFL draft is in the books. The bulk of free agency is over. Could the Bengals add a veteran? My thoughts and some targets that would make sense right here in Cincinnati. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of Sports Illustrated's BengalsTalk.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and follow all off season long because, well, it's been a big week at Paycor Stadium with Joe Burrow, reaction to him returning to practice. You can hear from him as well. We posted that video. We posted my reaction with some clips from some of his teammates. Plus, we'll enter the jungle every Tuesday night at 8 Eastern. So check all of that out. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Today's video, by the way, brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. Whether you're looking for a Cincy hat, whether you're looking for a Logan Wilson shirt, Tiger Rocks glass, Rivertown Inquiry has it. So check it out and check them out at rivertowninquiry.com, or their two locations, one in Oakley and one in Findlay Market, or in OTR right there next to Findlay Market. But let's dive in and let's dive into what the Bengals could do next. And I do think that when you look at their cap space, and they have double-digit millions in cap space, even when you take into consideration rookies and practice squad and all of those things that these sites out there don't necessarily take into consideration, could they add a free agent? And the answer to me is yes. And the why is pretty simple, because there are some proven guys still available that I think add to their team, that would add to their team, that would give them something, that still have something left to offer. And let's start with, I think, the ideal candidate right now, and it's Xavier Howard. Worked with Lou Anarumo in Miami. Lou was his defensive backs coach. Xavier has been on record saying that he wants to win, and he could be one of those missing pieces in this secondary. I get it. They moved Dax Hill to corner, and he's going to compete there. You have DJ Turner. You have Cam Taylor-Britt on the outside. You drafted Josh Newton. But adding a veteran in that room, it's something that would not shock me at all. And so Xavier Howard is probably at the top of the list. He's not the only guy, though. I look at this cornerbacks list, the top guys available, and to me, Steven Nelson's at the top of some lists. I don't think the Bengals would be in on him, but Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard, Adoree Jackson, those are the three that probably make the most sense. And Adoree Jackson, from an age standpoint, 28 years old, he's a former first rounder, and I could certainly see them going that route where they say, all right, let's get the guy who's the Eli Apple of 2024, former first rounder, someone you could bring in and potentially revitalize, rejuvenate his career. He's going to cost less, certainly, than a Xavier Howard, going to cost less than, say, a Stephon Gilmore. But all three of those guys would make sense in the Bengals defensive backs room. Other guys that make sense on defense. Calais Campbell, to me, makes a ton of sense. Now, he doesn't from an age standpoint. He's 38. He's pushing 40. Zach Taylor's just a few years older than Calais Campbell. But when I look at that defensive tackle room and I think about the rotation, can you imagine having another guy that has been there, done that in big moments, that can be part of a rotation early this year and then ramp up, and by the playoffs, may be able to make the difference and be the difference when you're playing the Chiefs, or be the difference when you're playing some of these high leverage games where one play literally swings it, whether or not you're going to the AFC title game or whether or not you're going to the Super Bowl or not. He's that type of guy. And so to me, I like what they've done at defensive tackle. You lose DJ Reader, you still have BJ Hill under contract, and what do? You go get Sheldon Rankins, and then you get Chris Jenkins, and then you get McKinley Jackson, who's that big nose tackle that you're expecting to fill that role. That's fine. But, and they probably won't because of age, because Zach Carter's still on the roster. They probably think that Sam Hubbard or Cam Sample, guys like that, can rotate inside some. But man, would it be nice to have a Calais Campbell, someone who's been there, done that, and is still playing at a high level, played well for the Falcons last year. He can still get it done. Certainly someone that I would keep an eye on. And I know a lot of you are going to bring up, since I did interior defensive line, interior offensive line. I don't think they're going to go that route. I just don't. And Dalton Reisner is the one that a lot of people mention. But to me, they added Matt Lee, who's going to compete with Trey Hill for that backup center spot behind Ted Karras. You have Guys like Cody Ford that they re-signed. I think Jackson Carman is in the mix to back up multiple guard spots. And then at tackle, you're as deep at tackle as you've been in recent years, where you have two guys that can play left or right tackle. Three if you count Orlando Brown Jr., but he's not moving from left tackle. But Trent Brown has that flex. He can play left tackle or right tackle. And the same thing goes for Amarius Mims as well. He can play right tackle or left tackle. So you have both of those guys get work at both spots. And now your backup tackle spots are kind of shored up. So I don't think they go that route. I was expecting them to address it earlier in the draft, but they did get Matt Lee, who I like, and I think has a chance to make the team as a backup center. Other spots that I could see them addressing, running back is one, and Dalvin Cook is probably the best running back available. I don't think he's even on their radar, but I'll give you a guy, and I'm going to pull up his stats here from last year because he didn't have a great year from a numbers perspective. My fantasy team can attest to that. But Jerick McKinnon, he was someone that birdies told me throughout the grapevine that the Bengals had some interest in last year. And so Jerick McKinnon, he is 32. He turned 32 on May 3rd. So happy birthday, Jerick. Coming off of a season where he only had 21 rushes, ran for 1 touchdown. But what he does in the passing game is what you would bring him in for. Had 56 catches in 2022. Was a red zone threat for the Chiefs, where they used him in all these different packages. That's the guy. Had 4 touchdown receptions last year, by the way. So it's not like he didn't make an impact in the passing game there. The Chiefs offense was just different. But I think McKinnon still has a little something. So if you want a little more in the passing game, you have Zach Moss, you have Chase Brown, you obviously have Travion Williams and Chris Evans. But it almost seems like you're duplicating what you already have. He's a smaller back that is good out of the backfield as a pass catcher. And so I look at it, 5'9", 209 is what he's listed at. We'll see. But on a minimum type deal, something around there, I could see Jerick McKinnon becoming a Cincinnati Bengal. Outside of that, and I'm looking at this list, I don't really see a lot of other options. I don't think they're going to do anything at tight end. They're certainly not going to do anything at offensive tackle right now. And so those are the 3 corners, by the way. Again, Howard, Gilmore, Jackson. I don't think they would be in on Nelson. I don't think they would be in on J.C. Jackson from the Patriots. I don't think they'd be in on Patrick Peterson. They're certainly not going to be in on safeties. So if the Bengals add a veteran, it's probably one of those guys, or it's at one of those positions. I'll name another guy. Could they reunite with Eli Apple? I think the chances are very slim, but you might be able to steal him for a minimum type deal. And if that's the case, then maybe you consider bringing someone of that tier into Cincinnati to give you a little more cornerback depth as DJ Ivey continues to rehab from an ACL, as Dax Hill gets more and more comfortable at boundary corner. I could see that happening. So corner, defensive tackle, running back, I think those are the 3 areas that the Bengals could look at, and they may stand pat. I don't think they will. I think they will add some bodies. It's just a matter of, are those players guys that we know and that we hear the name and we have that name recognition with, or are they under the radar names that we haven't really been paying attention to? We will see. We are going to have you covered right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. And by the way, rookie minicamp is Friday. That means we get our first look at the rookies. We're going to have you covered right here on CBT. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified anytime we post a video. And if you're looking for more Bengals coverage, make sure you check out BengalsTalk.com. Yeah, we rebranded it, baby. BengalsTalk.com. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.